Alright guys, we're back. Second analysis of the day. We got here the New Zealand versus the Canadian, which we've been here not too long ago. We announced that bearish situation, but we were hesitant to take action, right? Because we saw price was starting to get into that smaller scale trading range, and we knew we could be using that one as a trigger, as a solid trigger. So here's what happened ever since we were here announcing that bearish situation. Price landed a big punch on that 88.41. Remember that? Now, this is a big Fibonacci key level, guys. Fibonacci correction 61.8. Probably, the most important one. In relation to the previous downside move, of course, for the whole move from the top to the bottom, we wanted to the intention was to figure out whether this upside move that led to that touchdown here was a technical correction or whether it was an independent move. And we figured out that by that reaction here on that 61.8 that it's probably was a correction. So it means that price is going to come back on the downside, resume the original move, which seems to be a downside move. Now this is still just the beginning. If I'm going to get, I'm going to take a few steps back, you're going to see the big picture coming from the weekly chart. That's where price is coming from, right? From the very edge of the system. The mighty resistance level of 89.30, 89.29. We've seen big reaction on the attempt to break through, failed, and then of course the turnaround. And we think this move, like I said, we watched that move from the daily perspective. We think this was a correction. You can see the reaction here on that 88.41 again. So guys, this is what happened. Like when we announced this this bearish potential, price went down to basically build up the second leg. And now I'm talking about this local sideways movement that started to develop here. Take a look. And this is also, it's quite similar to what we've seen in the previous video. I was talking about the pound Swiss. So just reverse the situation here, right? In this case, you have the market, you have price action basically topping out, right? We're talking about bottoming out as a form of consolidation phase before the actual turnaround. This seems to be the same case, just on the opposite direction, where we have price coming kind of topping out. Right, instead of a V-shape kind of reaction, we have consolidation phase where price is trading sideways for a while on a local scale. Now, here's what we want to do. We want to get in, basically, because we think there's a very attractive levels. We were waiting for price to break 87.48 because, officially, that's our trigger. It has been our trigger ever since the beginning. We've seen prices, approaching that level. We've seen the reaction we had here. We knew this is going to be the trigger level, 87.48. But price, it found a lot of support and went up as part of this, local sideways movement, which makes sense. That's okay. But now it's tagging the upper section again. It's tagging that 88.41, and we feel that we're ready to pull the trigger. All we need, guys, is one little thing. All right, we need price to overcome 88.16. Let me zoom in because there's a battle that's going down right here, right now. You can see that. Price was already pushing forward, but then bouncing back up. Obviously, there's a battle going on here, right? So that's going to be our new trigger. Final trigger is definitely 87.48, but now we have a second layer of trigger here. That's actually gonna, breaking below 88.16, gonna be enough for us to pull the trigger. We're gonna set a small position in place, and then we'll wait for price to actually break below 87.49 before we get more aggressive on the way down. All right, I want to remind you, we're looking at a big system. Let me show you where this. Yeah, we've just seen it coming from the weekly chart. So if this is indeed the end of the road for this upside correction, then you can guess what's coming, right? We're gonna have we're gonna have price turning back down, resuming the original move, and in one swoop it could go all the way to the lower section, which is where it came from, 83.66. That's where we believe should be the main price target. I mean, the primary price target, and also in this case, the final destination. I should mention 86.63 here as a secondary target, as a placement, you know, maybe to take some profit off the table. We'll see how it goes. In the meantime, guys, it's all about that 88.16 level, and today, I mean, today's you know, session and the closing bar on that day by the end of it. So yeah, hopefully we'll be back soon to follow up on the situation here. We'll keep you posted as usual. That's about it for the day, Forex market. We'll be back tomorrow. Cheers.